Alright guys, MattG back again today. Hope you're enjoying your Friday so far once again, and today we're going to talk about day 3 of the CDL World Championship. Yet again, here we are talking about some craziness that's gone down. The first couple of days, the big topic of course was the lag outs, the DDoSing that was going on in the professional matches. The CDL have responded to that, but their response wasn't exactly ideal, as we'll look at in the coming minutes here. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new, as always, greatly appreciate it. So before the day even kicked off, there was a kind of interesting tweet that came out from Frosty, and there was a similar one from Ferro. We're going to go through that tomorrow morning, but zero competitive integrity over here in the CoD scene. Y'all are super weird. So, you know, this was kind of confusing. This is before any of the matches were going on or anything, so not exactly sure what this referred to. Turns out this may have been referring to their match against, well, the Toronto Ultra. We don't exactly know when these matches are being played. We did become clear that they were doing a delay on the stream from when the matches were actually being played. Whether they were being played several hours in advance and the Toronto game potentially being played even before the Chicago versus New York game, maybe not. Not exactly sure what this refers to, but yeah, definitely kind of set the scene for a bit of an interesting day. We then got this from Classic, so RJ the Sloth Bear says, you know, you're getting accused, straight up delusional. Seemed to be about, well, you know, seemed to be Frosty talking to Classic and saying, well, he's using ATS, as Clayster says here, which is auto tac sprint, which is something which is GA'd in the professional community. So it was kind of confusing why, well, these two pros seem to be having a back and forth here, as RJ is kind of pointing out, when their match was in a few hours' time. Maybe, well, you know, maybe that was a bit of a sign of things to come, right? So then we get this. Crone at CDL Intel points out that are the matches being played off stream before the stream actually went live, before the 8 PM, well, time when New York Subliners versus Chicago Huntsman was kicking off. We got this that came out, and as Crone points out, on the website, and I use this website all the time for breaking down the matches through the video, they've actually like removed that feature from now looking at the matches because of this issue, so we can't go through exactly in that format today, but effectively those matches are auto-updated, whether they're auto-updated behind the scenes in some sort of code, or whether like someone actually goes in and makes the changes and maybe they weren't aware it was going live. Someone was going through, or it was being automatically done, and those matches were being auto-updated on that spreadsheet or on that website so people could just see what was going on online. Crone got some backlash for pointing this out on Twitter, which I didn't fully understand, really, given that, well, if you don't bring this to people's attention and bring it to the CDL's attention, then this is just going to keep happening, right? And every single stream and every single match is going to be figured out. And it's interesting, really, to me that the CDL didn't, I suppose, make it public that they were being played off stream. People were going to figure it out eventually. Of course, they don't want to say exactly what the stream delay is for obvious reasons, but certainly it seemed pretty obvious. At some point people were going to figure it out, and they of course leaked some pretty important results, as we will look at in a second here. So yes, definitely some replies to this from Fellow. You know, do you use a positive thought before tweeting this? No, he didn't. It's not on him how mistakes like this are happening. Certainly a back and forth. Horrible take. There's proper channels and avenues to go about things rather than tweeting it to the public. Proper channels, says Crone. You mean the ones pros use to get nothing done? If I didn't tweet it by now, we would know the Florida-Toronto results already. This is what came out then. So this is what the website looks like, at least on a mobile version. I saw a couple of different versions of these. Map number 1 and map number 2 were leaked. You know, it was 6-5, well, Chicago in the search and destroy. New York 1, map 1, like 250 to 168 or something in that region. And, well, everyone in the YouTube chat, of course, in the search and destroy was like, oh, you know, I wonder what's going to happen. Feel like Chicago are going to clutch up in around 11 here. And then, for some reason, they took the website down and no one could see it. And it was like, okay, well, we know map 1 and 2. We don't know what the rest of the series is. There was rumors coming out that Chicago had beaten them 3-1 and all this kind of stuff that people had seen, like refreshes on the website that had been updating it. Crazy that that's even what we have to be talking about, right? But you know, as it turns out, just a couple of minutes later, they somehow refreshed the website. Someone makes another mistake, and it became clear that the hard point went in favor of New York in a very close fashion, to be honest. Chicago arguably could have won this one, or should have won this one, and then also the Game 5 result as 6-2 has been revealed. So these last two maps, people who had seen this on the website and it was kind of circulating, already knew the results before it was even live on stream. So once again, we get a situation where the CDL tries to resolve an issue, which is this DDoSing issue we're seeing, and successfully so, right? But, well, in the process, they end up revealing the results before they have happened on the live stream. As yet, as I say, we haven't got too many of these issues, apart from kind of that Frosty thing, which is kind of curious, of, well, pros actually leaking results on Twitter. It seems like the pros either have their tweets scheduled or whatever goes on exactly, and, well, they're all tweeting out as if they've just played the match live just after the fact, which is kind of cool. You know, it seems to be getting around things. Maybe if this hadn't have, well, happened, people might not have realized, actually, at least today, would have certainly happened in coming days, that they were actually being played behind time. Unsure as yet how far behind time they are being played. Intrigued to hear your thoughts on that down in the comment section below. But as you can see, let's actually talk about the series, I suppose. Chicago versus New York Subliners. Really interesting one. New York clutched up in this map for a hardpoint, but go to the game 5. I mean, St. Petrograd pretty comfortable for Chicago. Honestly, it was Scump that had a fantastic series. He definitely deserves his shout out in this one. As you can see from Chrono here, just before we talked about that update, they've taken it down, but well, then put it back up again at the end. Scump goes 95 in 74. He had an unbelievable series here. Champ Scump came to play, especially on that St. Petrograd Search and Destroy at the end, and really throughout the series. Some clutch factor from him and the rest of the squad. Nobody goes positive, well, apart from Scump on this squad. Super impressive performance from him. The slaying on the subliners once again was pretty solid, but not good enough to get past the Huntsman in a game 5. So good clutch factor from them. Winning a game 5 is, well, not subliners' strong point. And when it did go to the game 5, felt like Huntsman were kind of favourites in this one. They take it down. They will play Atlanta FaZe tomorrow. Subliners drop down to the losers bracket, as we were looking in a second. Then the game 2 of the day was Toronto versus the Florida Mutineers. And well, once again, it was obviously being pre-recorded to some degree, but at some point during the first map on Azir Cave, the broadcast issue just completely shut down. Not sure what happened there, and as they say, a broadcast technical issue has impacted viewability of map 1. A match player has not been impacted and is continuing on. We expect the issue to be resolved in approximately 5 minutes. Almost sounds like, well, it was pre-recorded, so they knew how long it was going to take to resolve because they'd already done it. We'll air any map 1 action missed as soon as we return. Thank you for your patience. And, well, as Crone says, matches pre-recorded, so no one gets booted. The booter. And now for my next trick, I'm going to boot off the entire CDL or the entire CDL stream. Thought this was pretty entertaining, to be honest. This is how the series closes out then. So I'll make this slightly smaller so you can see it on the right hand side of the screen. Azir Cave hardpoint goes to the Ultra 252-32. Very close map. And honestly, we were talking coming into this event how Toronto somehow found some clutch factor from absolutely nowhere at the most recent tournaments. When they beat Dallas Empire, when they beat FaZe. I mean, some of these matches they were winning, especially some of the hardpoints, the clutches they were bringing out were absolutely unbelievable. They do it again in game number 1. Game 2 on Piccadilly Search and Destroy typically has been a great map for Ultra. Like, Cammy has an unbelievable KD on this map in theory. This time he goes like 2 in 9. As you can see on the scoreboard, he had a great series, but the Search and Destroy was pretty woeful for Cammy, which is a rare thing. Florida Mutineers taking on the Cave, then they go to Hackney Yard Domination. Typically a great map for Toronto Ultra this entire season long. They win it 161-156. Then we go to an unbelievable St. Petrograd hardpoint. They go down early on, they bring the comeback, and honestly, it looked like they choked it kind of. They had that P1 set up over at those shipping crates, I suppose. Mutineers get in, just managed to close it out, but Toronto Ultra contest for just long enough. They make the long pinch. They make a nice little play, to be honest. Instead of flooding through, they send a couple guys through mid-map to try and pinch onto the hill. They just about contest for long enough to leave Mutineers only at 249 points, and well, they have the rotation perfectly over to that P2 and win the game there, 250-249. I mean, just unprecedented. The way they win these hard points over the last couple of events is unbelievable. Can they keep it up? Who knows? But Mutineers were certainly a tough opponent. They have not lost to many teams this season at all, really, since they made these most recent roster changes. Ultra being another one to take them down. Look at the slaying here as well. This is where it really shows, like, you know, how important the slaying is on the squad. CleanX, once again, in similar fashion, frankly, to Scump, doesn't play a great role on the team, or doesn't play, you know, obviously plays a great role on the team, doesn't play an easy role on the team, has a 1.23, and the guys you're expecting to really drop numbers, or Methods especially has a 0.6, Classic has a 0.8, you know, Bant has a 0.8, and they win all 3 respawns with KDs like this. That shows phenomenal team play, and really shows the power of having an SMG that's absolutely going off like CleanX did this series. CleanX at Champs, saw it last year against the Team Envy squad when he was on Singularity, does it again here on Toronto. This was a massive series win for them. They keep the run alive. Intrigued to hear your thoughts on that in the comment section below, because, well, what an unbelievable series that turned out to be. This, then, is what the bracket looks like. After all the drama today, we're going to talk about, as well in tomorrow's video, about London versus Paris and the kind of drama that was sparking up to do with GAs. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case now, but certainly a discussion for tomorrow. As you can see, these are the matches that happen tomorrow on the Saturday. We've got Minnesota versus OGLA, London versus the Paris Legion. These are both, of course, elimination matches. This starts at 1 PM Eastern Time, 6 PM British Summer Time, well, that'd be 10 AM Pacific Time. And, well, just after that, London versus Paris. Then in the afternoon, Atlanta FaZe versus the Huntsman, Dallas Empire versus Toronto Ultra. And the final 4 matches to be played will be concluded in the elimination bracket on the, well, Championship Sunday. Not really a Championship Sunday. We're going to have to wait to next weekend for that one. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section and all this stuff. Unbelievable stuff. The CDL, well, make 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Or maybe, to be honest, you could say 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It kind of ruined one series. Will it happen for the rest of the weekend or the rest of the tournament as a whole? Maybe not. They'll probably learn from their mistakes. But, yeah, pretty entertaining regardless. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.